Alright guys, this is part 2 of my video playlist regarding inconsistencies in the Noah Presgrove case. To check out the videos, the other parts 1 and 3 and possibly 4, just click on my Noah Presgrove's playlist and you'll be able to find them. I'm not going to do a summary of what I did last video. You're able to go back and watch that if you want to. But I am going to pick up with this video going with the ATV accident. So everyone at that party has agreed that yes, an ATV accident did occur. Everyone for the most part. From what I have gathered, Jack has kind of gone back and forth as to whether or not he believes it happens, but for the most part, everybody said it did happen. Now, even though Noah did not get hurt, the mention of the ATV accident was mentioned in his autopsy report. The girls at the party had a Snapchat with somebody who was local, and this is what was said. He walked off to clear his head, never came back. Everything else about the story will be released to the news tomorrow. I'm not supposed to say anything else. What do you mean you're not supposed to say anything else? You know? So he didn't take off on an ATV with someone, and she said no. Earlier that night he was, and he flipped on it. Okay, I see what she's saying. She's saying no, like he didn't take off and leave, like when he went missing on the ATV. I got that. Earlier that night he was, and he flipped it, but then after that he was just hanging out the house, like he turned it on its side and they flipped it back on its wheels, and that person said okay. And I guess the story about him having beef with someone, mad, she said no, we don't know why he got mad. No one had beef. Now this is where it all changes. The details after what happened after that supposed ATV accident, and depending on who you talk to, will depend on the story that you get. Some say the accident happened around midnight, while others say it happened around 3 a.m. Now, Jack, who actually owned the Polaris Ranger that they were on, that they flipped, claims it happened after he went to bed at around 1:50 a.m. He said early that night, morning, whatever you want to say, because he was going fishing the next morning with his dad. He said he took his keys out of the Ranger and Noah came into his room and got them. I guess this was after he was asleep. And then him and a bunch of other people went and rode the ATV and they wrecked it. Most everyone is saying Noah was driving the Ranger when it flipped. And although he didn't get hurt, he did get very dirty. So he had to get a shower, and there were 2 girls that helped him in the shower. And one of those girls was Carter, who I mentioned earlier in part 1, and Jasmine Milan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It was said that Noah was just too drunk to bathe himself. Now, Avery's mother, and Avery was the birthday girl, claimed in a Facebook post that a video was posted online that showed the 2 girls bathing Noah, but it has not ever been seen since. Like, it was seen at the beginning and it can't be found now. Others claim that they remember seeing that video. Where it is now, who knows? Some have even said that in that video and in the shower, Noah was barely responsive. When he got out of the shower, friends say that Noah put on a different pair of shorts. In the autopsy report, they were white, and allegedly he had on underwear. Jack called his shorts loose-fitting wrestling shorts. And here's another text exchange. It says, why was his body curled up? What do you mean? He looked like he was just laying on his side. Someone said when he left the party, did he have any clothes on or just shoes? He said he had shoes and just some wrestling shorts. He had just got out of the shower. That person said they said when they found him, he didn't have shorts on. And Jack said, I know, they were just loose-fitting shorts, but still, I'm not sure. He had only 1 shoe on, 2. All I know is whatever happened to him happened on the road. The tooth, his necklace, you could see where he hit his head on the ground. Why are you not sure, Jack? Because I've heard that you were on the scene before most people, and you went back allegedly and got people to bring them back to the scene. So wouldn't you know whether or not he had the shorts on or not? You're saying you're not sure here. That's a bit confusing. Are you sure or are you not sure? It keeps going back and forth, it seems. And then, as I said earlier, as soon as he got out of the shower, he got into an argument with Avery. When she told him he had to sleep on the floor and not in the bed with her, she said he couldn't sleep in the bed with her because he supposedly had messed around with one of her friends the night before. And that's according to some text that Jack had sent to a friend earlier this month. I've seen those text exchanges. And that's the argument that upset him, and he wandered off, and he was never seen again except for when he was found deceased. Now, one girl named Stephanie said these exact words on a Snapchat message. He walked off the bed, but he wasn't mad, and there was no beef. We don't know why he got mad. You just said he wasn't mad. Was he mad or was he not mad? Do you see how these stories just keep consistently changing? But back to him leaving the party. It's unclear exactly the time that he left it. His friends claim and give estimates that it was between 3:15 a.m. and 3:30 a.m. Now, he was found naked and deceased on the side of the road with only a pair of shoes, mismatched shoes on. Allegedly, the story is the shorts had fallen off in the middle of the road nearby. However, I'm hearing stories that somebody close to him, I'm not going to say names, this is all allegedly, actually went back and was going to switch some shorts or do something like that. I'm not quite sure. But guys, if the investigators do their job in this case and they listen to the information that hopefully people are telling them, it will all make sense. I'm just not going to share too much right now. And all of this is allegedly. Like I said, his shoes were mismatched. One of the shoes was an Adidas slip-on and the other was a Hey Dude slip-on. It was said that Noah couldn't find his other Adidas, so he just found a shoe on the floor and slipped it on. One lady by the name of Alicia Lee stated earlier this month that the other shoe that he was wearing, the Hey Dude, belonged to her son, who was asleep on the couch. He was the one that was laying on Mikey's phone that I mentioned earlier. It was said this guy kicked off his shoes and then went to sleep that night. She stated that he realized his shoe was missing the next morning when he was woken up by his friends stating that Noah was gone. Now, Noah's friends have claimed that wandering off for Noah was not unusual. He would often do this at parties. And for a while, they said they didn't really think anything of him being missing. One girl by the name of Jasmine posted a Snapchat at 3:41 a.m. with the caption saying, "Well, Noah's missing." Well, here's my thing. The friends have said he went missing between 3:15 and 3:30. But she posted this at 3:41 a.m. So if he did go missing around 3:30, and y'all said it wasn't unusual for him to go missing, he would do this often at parties, then why would y'all have considered him missing 11 minutes later if this was usual for him? That didn't add up to me. On a Facebook post, Jasmine defended herself and stated that she wanted to make something clear, that she posted this picture not knowing that the worst was going to happen and not knowing that Noah was never coming back. She said it was normal for Noah to wander off and that nobody thought he wouldn't be back. She said, "Don't even think for a second that just because I posted that means I know what happened to him. This is clueless as everyone else." That was what she posted on Facebook. She then said she was sick of it and that Noah was her friend and she loved him so much and that it hurt that people could think that any of them would do something to hurt him because they all loved him, and that somebody is really out there thinking that they got away with murder because people are blaming them for something they didn't do. Those were her words. Now, Jack did say that the people who were still awake went to go look for Noah, but at that time they weren't really worried that he was hurt or unsafe. He stated to a friend in a text that after he was gone for a while, everyone was looking for him, but they kind of thought he was kidding and that he didn't want anybody to find him. He was used when searching for Noah, that they took his ATV to search for him in ditches and stuff. But knowing Noah, he was probably just hiding out, seeing everyone looking for him. Well, let me just say this, friends. You damn sure didn't look too hard because he wasn't but a mile or so from the house. So they didn't find him and they went back home and just figured he'd show up. Now, Noah's family said they saw a video of Avery and Carter screaming at each other on the front porch of that house about Noah walking off. That was what they were screaming about, but that video has never been seen again. I guess they saw it once and no more. He was finally found when two vehicles spotted his body along U.S. Highway 81 and one driver called 911 at 5:53 a.m. to report it. I'm going to stop right here for part 2 and stay tuned for part 3.